Sports on Tap Detroit, brought to you by Tap and Barrel Grill, the Realtors of the Joe Wright Group, Jason Stiltner of Flagstar Bank, Baldman Entertainment.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, we loaded with all the information you wanted. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe be taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it rolling and going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping. With news that's jaw dropping, they're getting it in. Sports Center competition, man, they in it to win. This ain't a fluke, from Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening, if you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thundercloud and ride with lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater, you better just let it go and all come and attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them it's on tap.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. And we're back. Episode 174 of Sports on Tap Detroit. What is that?
I don't know.
That's not good.
It doesn't sound good.
It does not sound good.
That's weird.
See, this is what happens when you don't do a show for like 3 weeks.
Or this is what happens when you don't run the updates for Windows like you should, and then you have to run them, and all of a sudden, it just starts messing with everything on your computer.
You get bad feedback, and
fucking Bill Gates.
It's not good. It's not good.
Although it seems like it went away.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm not getting any feedback now. It was just at the beginning.
Yeah. Anyways. But yes, we are back with episode 174. I'm Chris Scott alongside Joe Waddell. Joe, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
You know.
Yeah.
Just living the nightmare like everybody else.
Yeah. Living the dream. It's not mine.
Exactly.
It's
somebody's dream,
but
it ain't
it's
mine.
not mine. Yeah, I have a feeling we're both in the same mood. So I think this show is going to do us both well.
Maybe.
To at least talk some sports and get out of our our personal bullshit.
Yeah. Just incompetence. It's just, let's leave it at that.
It runs rampant.
It really does. It really fucking does. But anyways.
It's a disease.
We digress. Obviously, we haven't done a show in a little bit, so some stuff's gone on since the last show we did.
Like what?
We've crowned a new NCAA champion.
We have, yes. And it was who you picked.
It was who I picked, and I actually looked at my bracket. The one bracket I did fill out, I just filled one out randomly on, I think it was ESPN or whatever.
Yeah.
If I had put that in like a real thing, I might have done pretty well with it.
There was a lot of chalks this year.
Well, there was a lot of chalk, and people I know were upset about it. Oh, we didn't get the Cinderella run, or we didn't get the upsets. You know what? I was fine with that, to be honest with you, because you ended up getting good games when it mattered.
Yes. And the only thing I can say is I believe you're seeing the NIL have the opposite effect on basketball than it does on football.
Oh, of course you are, because now these big schools can just raid all these mid-majors.
In basketball, if you take one good player off of a team, it's a big difference. One really good player, one great player makes a difference, right?
Right.
On a football program, you've got kids that are going to be going to smaller schools that can afford to pay them because the bigger schools are paying other kids, and it's going to disperse talent a little bit, right? And there's going to be some more what's the word I'm looking for? The
more parity.
Parity, yes.
Yeah.
In NCAA basketball, it's going to have the opposite effect.
Well,
the bigger schools can poach one kid from another school. Well, if they do that, that one kid makes a difference, a huge difference to that one smaller school.
Yeah. Whereas
you put them on their roster. So you're going to see more. You're going to see less parity in basketball and NCAA than you will in football. Mm-hmm. It's going to have the opposite effect.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially because just given the roster size of football.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can lose a guy and still be fine.
Yep.
But in basketball, you lose a guy. That's going to set you back a little bit. It just is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if what I've been reading about a little bit is they're trying to kind of corral this NIL stuff, finally, which I think they absolutely do. If that's the case, then I think we'll get back to kind of how we have lived with the NCAA tournament throughout the majority of it. Is we will see those upsets every once in a while and things like that.
Right.
But until that happens, I think that you're going to keep seeing it play out like it did this year, with basically chalk.
Yep.
Which, again, I really didn't hate it because, again, you got games later in the tournament, the Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four, etc. They were good games. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah, it's cool to see that Cinderella, get out of the first round, but then get blasted by 30 the next round. That kind of sucks, because whomever they end up playing, it's usually like a 1 or 2 seed, and they ended up, so you basically got a cakewalk to the Sweet 16, Obviously, we've had a little bit where you've had that 15 seed, 16 seed make a run to, okay, cool.
Yep.
But it was rare that happened. So I'd rather see the top teams play later in the tournament and have good games like that. But but yes, Florida is your national champion. I did pick them to win. I did pick them to beat Houston. So I'm kind of excited about that, I suppose. I mean, in all actuality, it really doesn't do anything for me because I'm like, whatever. It wasn't Michigan, so whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really do anything for me. It's just it was a good tournament.
Yeah,
I enjoyed a lot of the games that I watched in it.
Yeah, for sure.
They were good games. It came down to the wire. That comeback the other night by Houston,
was
insane.
Yeah. Well, shit, the
against
comeback
Duke.
by Florida against Auburn.
Yeah, that was good.
That was nuts.
Yeah, and then last night's game was really close.
It was close, but I thought it was more like this is not a very good game, but it was close.
Yeah, no,
it was like a rock fight.
Yeah. It wasn't necessarily a great game.
No.
But it was close. So you didn't really know who was going to win, but you're like, who's going to win this lack of a slugfest?
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah. So one thing I did want to hit on while we were talking about the NCAA tournament and just March Madness in general. Can we please finally put to bed the Mr. March thing with Tom Izzo? Like, seriously, please. Like, it needs to end. It needed to end years ago. Like, I'm sorry, this guy. No, stop with this nonsense. Like, I was at bowling last week.
January, February Izzo,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
I was at bowling last week, and one of the guys I bowl with, he's a big Michigan State fan, and I looked at him. I go, what happened? What happened to Izzo? What happened to your boy? He goes, it got too close to April. I was like, that is awesome.
Got too close to April.
It got too close to April. I was
great.
like, all right, that's
a good one.
That is well played on your part, sir. But my point being is, like, yeah, cool. You get to the tournament every year. That's all well and good. You've made to 6 Final Fours, 6 or 7 Final Fours. Great. That's terrific. You've won one ring in 25 years. Okay. Great.
Okay.
Literally, you're the Atlanta Braves of the 90s. That's awesome. I mean, if we're going to play this game like Mr. March, then Dan Hurley is a better coach than you. Mike Krzyzewski is a better coach than you. Roy Williams is a better coach than you.
Yeah.
And the list, I could go on and on and on, saying they are in fact Mr. March. You, sir, are not. But Michigan State fan will have you believe that he is Mr. March, and I guess I have to ask why. Why do you keep saying that? Like, because he gets to Sweet 16s? Cool. Because he gets to Elite 8s? Cool.
Cool.
What does he win?
Not a lot.
I mean, you guys wanted to bash like Lloyd Carr.
Yep.
And you wanted to bash Bo, and I'm with you on the Bo thing. 100%, I'm with you on the Bo thing. I think Bo Schembechler is the most overrated coach in college football history.
We both agree on that one.
But you guys want to do that? You got take a look in the mirror, guys. Look at your basketball coach. I'm sorry, your basketball coach is incredibly overrated, and that's all I really got to say about that.
Facts.
Yes, I mean, don't get me wrong. I will say this. if he were Michigan's head coach and he had this level of consistency every year, it'd be cool. Would it be calling him Mr. March? No.
No.
I would just be like, hey, man, we got a coach that's going to get us to the tournament, at least get us into the dance, you know? And that's cool. Like, every year you're going to the tournament.
Yeah.
Cool. But that being said, I'm not going to be, he's Mr. March. No, he's not.
Well, I mean, I just don't understand how you can call him that. I'm not being a hater at this point. I just don't understand how you can call a guy Mr. March when he's won one national championship.
Again,
If he had won a couple,
yeah.
and he's made some decent runs, but he's won one.
Yep.
So
Again, if you want to do that,
he's Mr. March in what year was that?
2000.
Mr. March in 2000.
Yeah.
That's when he was Mr. March.
And that's, like I said, that's the thing. If you really want to play that game about the Mr. March nonsense, then I said, look at Dan Hurley, back-to-back. He already has more than Izzo does. You know, Krzyzewski, obviously, Roy Williams. You know, I can go on with this list, but it's just, I don't know. It's something that's irritated me for quite a while now. But they're gonna continue to do it, and that's fine. And every time they do it, I'll just laugh. I'm like, no, he's not. But okay. Anyways, you got anything else on the tournament?
No, not much on there for me.
All right. I do want to hit on our first place Detroit Tigers.
Yes.
How about them?
How about them Tigers?
How about them Tigers? Don't let the Tigers get hot.
Yeah.
So they started out the season 0-3 because they're playing a glorified all-star team in the Dodgers. But I thought in at least two of those games they were competitive.
First one, they very much were competitive.
Yeah. I thought the second game maybe should have won. I think it was a call that I guess could have gone either way, but I'm not sure there was definitive evidence that he was out at home plate, but apparently he was. Anyways, so they come back home, or they go to Seattle, take 2 or 3. Cool, I like that. Should have swept that game. The one they lost was kind of like that was on them. They kind of messed that one up. Then they come home and they're taking care of business at home. Take 2 or 3 against the White Sox. Cool. You take the first 2 against the Yankees, which is awesome. And today especially, they hit four bombs like almost in a row, which was great. Well, 3 in a row anyway. But the guys that are leading this team are the guys that we talked about last season especially, but going into the season that needed to be your pillars, your cornerstones of this team. And they so far have been. Riley Green has been excellent this year.
Yes.
And Spencer Torkelson this is the guy we thought that they drafted.
This is the guy that we thought they drafted. This is the guy that should have been there all along.
Yes.
And listen, it's 11 games.
It is.
I believe they were 7-4 last year at 11 games, and then had to go on that miracle run. So I don't want to overreact to it, but again, this team looks pretty good right now.
I will overreact to it. This team looks different. This team has swagger.
They look pretty good. I'm not going to overreact to it.
That's fine.
Only because, like I said, they were 7-4 last year. I think they were the last team to lose They were the very last team to lose a game last year.
I think you are correct in that.
So they got off to a hot start last year too, and I will say that there's 3 guys, right, that are playing well right now that we didn't necessarily expect anything out of, right? You said Torkelson,
Yes.
Mize.
Oh, Mize has looked outstanding. That
Mize
splitter's been nasty.
Mize has looked really good.
Mize has looked like the guy you thought you drafted.
Right.
Yes.
And then Javi.
Yeah, how about that?
Where is Harvey? Well, apparently he showed up. This year.
The guy is actually learning to lay off pitches.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
he's learning to watch the ball
Yes.
and not swing at everything out of the strike zone on the other side of the plate.
And Kerry Carpenter is absolutely raking, just hitting bombs. And like I said, last year, same record at after the same amount of games. I looked at that as like, okay, it's cute. I look at it completely different this year.
Right.
This team to me just has. I think getting to the playoffs last year gave them that confidence, gave them that swagger. And this team's playing like it, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, do I think they need to add another thumper in the lineup? 100%.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, they do. They need to add at least one thumper and maybe another guy that can, get on base, whatever. But they absolutely need another thumper in the lineup. And I think you really got something here, because I think if this pitching staff can stay healthy, I think it's one of the best pitching staffs in baseball if they can stay healthy.
Absolutely. And the other thing they have going for them, and I hate rooting for this and saying this, but the other thing they have going for them is the American League Central sucks.
It's not very good. But it wasn't very good last year either.
But I feel like everyone else might have taken a step back while the Tigers might have taken a step forward, and they have that going for them. The rest of the teams do not look good. Again, it's 11 games.
Right. But I mean, you look at the AL East, everybody thinks it's like a great division. Is it though? I don't really think it's that great of a division. I mean, the Red Sox are going to be decent. I don't think they're going to be significantly better than the Tigers.
The Jays, the Red Sox, the Yankees, and the Orioles.
The Jays are going to be right around 500, and the Yankees, with all their pitching injuries, they're going to be obviously they're going to be above 500, but they're not going to be like juggernaut like everybody thought they were going to be. I don't think the AL East is significantly better than the AL Central. I really don't. Same thing with the AL West. You got the Rangers. Yeah, they look like they're going to be good. But then who else you got in that division? The Mariners can't fucking hit. They got great pitching, but they can't hit.
I'll be honest with you. I think when we look back at the end of the year, you're going to be able to look at. I think there's going to be a significant difference.
Really?
In this, yeah.
Okay.
Again, could be overreacting to 10 or 11 games here, but as much as I say don't overreact to the Tigers being 7-4 because they were 7-4 last year, they were the last team to lose a game last year. But
I just think it's
here I am
7-4.
partially overrating the fact that the rest of the teams in the Central look fucking awful right now.
Yeah, I think it's a different 7-4 this year. But obviously it's a long season. We shall see injuries.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I like what I've seen.
Yeah,
because we're seeing things from the guys that we didn't expect to see things from, right? And I think that's the major difference right now.
I just love that this team is playing with a confidence this year.
Yeah, well, and the confidence has gone throughout players that you didn't expect to have confidence.
I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it that they're playing with a confidence and that swagger this year. I dig it.
Yep.
Hopefully that can continue. Obviously, as long as season injuries happen,
Fingers
slumps
crossed.
happen, it is what it is. But just looking at how the American League sets up, again, there's not that one team that you're like deathly afraid of in the American League.
Right.
Now, as for the National League, that's a completely different story because obviously you have the glorified All-Star team in Los Angeles.
The Dodgers.
The Giants are good.
Padres are good.
Padres are good. Like that's now, if you want to go with a good division, that's a good fucking division.
Yes.
The NL West.
Yep.
Phillies,
Mets.
the AL East, Mets. Yeah, the NL East is solid too. The AL Central is kind of like the AL Central, or the NL Central is kind of like the AL Central. It's the Cubs division to lose. It really is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So obviously, again, long season. We'll see how everything plays out. But I'm just excited baseball's back. I hate that they're playing baseball in like 30-degree weather in April. That kind of sucks. In October,
Yes.
all right, fine. But in April, that kind of sucks.
Very much so.
However, we went to opening day like we do every year, and it was actually nice weather. It was pretty solid outside. It was sunny.
Yeah.
Really wasn't too windy. It was like low to mid 50s. All right, for an opening day, I can tolerate that, right?
Right.
What I can't tolerate is the incompetence of the workers at Comerica Park.
What?
Dude. Oh. What? Like, for whatever reason.
That place has gone downhill since Dennis left.
It really has, honestly. For whatever reason, they are never prepared for opening day, like ever. And this is the worst year it's been since I've been going down there. Like, the line to get in to that place, it took us almost an hour to get in there. An hour. Because the idiots at the gate just had no idea what the fuck they were doing.
Wow.
Like, zero idea what the fuck they were doing. And it got to the point where these gates were about to get bum rushed. Like, I'm not even kidding. They were about to get bum rushed.
That's not good.
No, so you just, how they, like, check your shit, like, when you're going through the metal detector and whatnot? Yeah, they weren't even doing that. They were just, like, waving people in. Like, go. Because they knew. Like, we were pissed. Like, people were pissed.
Yeah.
Because like, all you had to do, literally all you had to do, was take your gates outside the actual like gate you walk into, and just set them up so people could walk through them like you're at an airport.
Right.
But no, they didn't do that.
Nah.
They didn't do that. So like you had this big line of people trying to get in, and then you had people like sneaking in from the side that they were just like letting in, like go. It's like, what? Do you not see the giant amount of people in front of you that have been waiting here for a fucking hour? It was like, it was just okay. And yeah, people were just not happy, like yelling at the security guy there and shit like that. It was about to get bum rushed. It was bad.
Not
So-
good.
No. So you get in the stadium, and once again, just like last year and the previous year, the concessions are a clusterfuck. Like, their lines are just absurd. Bathroom lines, absurd. Bathroom's not open. It's just like, how are, and this is the thing, like we've been to playoff games there.
Yeah.
I've been to a World Series game there. It's never like that during those. Wasn't like that at all during.
No, it wasn't.
But opening day, it's an absolute disaster there every fucking year. And that's my favorite day of the year. I love going to opening day. I
Yeah.
love going to the game. It's one of my favorite things to do during the year. And this experience for this opening day got me to the point where like I don't know if I'm going to go next year. Like I might go downtown and hang with some friends.
Right, but not actually.
But I might not actually go to the game next year. Just because the experience this year was that fucking bad.
It was pretty bad.
It was
you pay enough to go to these fucking places.
Exactly.
There should be an adequate amount of people and an adequate amount of
I just don't understand
service.
every year that you guys are not prepared for this. You know exactly what to expect. There's going to be a shitload of people down there that are excited that baseball's back.
Yeah.
Every year it's the same thing, and you guys completely are just not ready for it. You're unorganized and just unfucking prepared. It's terrible, and frankly, it's unacceptable. But that's the Chris Ilitch way. So
Yeah. Tries to save money, I guess.
I guess you know who is acceptable.
And who could also help save you money?
Yes. Yes, Jason Stiltner of Flagstar Bank. If you're a homeowner or looking to be a first-time home buyer, give Jason Stiltner, Senior Loan Officer at Flagstar Bank, a call today at 248-752-3631. Jason has great mortgage programs for first-time home buyers, including down payment assistance options and excellent interest rates. Again, give my guy Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank a call today at 248-752-3631 and get the excellent service you deserve. Flagstar Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 27546.
Happy Chinooka. I have no idea what Chinooka is, but happy Chinooka because they said so.
I love that. I haven't heard that in a minute. It's so good.
But because they said so.
All right, so moving on from the Tigers and the Comerica Park disaster. Alex Ovechkin.
He is now the leading goal scorer in the NHL all time.
All time. And I love that he did it literally in like the same amount of games.
Yeah.
I think that's good. This the whole symmetry with this thing
Yeah.
is honestly it's crazy. It really is.
Well, and I love the fact that he didn't want to do it on an open net
I love the
and
fact
an
that he
empty
did
net.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
think
I
it's
love
cool.
that.
Yeah.
He wasn't about to take a cheap goal as that goal.
And I can appreciate that. I really can.
I 1,000% appreciate that.
Yeah, so he obviously he did it this past weekend on kind of a typical Ovi goal. It wasn't quite where his office is, but close
Right.
enough that
It
wasn't like a one-time clapper, but nice if it was.
It was but it was within the wheelhouse of his goals.
Oh,
You know what
yeah,
I mean, it was
for sure.
it was from basically
Yeah.
from his spot.
I just like it wasn't a cheapie.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was like, okay, this is legit. This is legitimate.
Yep.
I love that it was against. I think it's funny. It was against the Islanders. I think when Gretzky scored his 894, I think it was against the Islanders.
Was it really?
I believe so. Which again is the symmetry with this is kind of it's just weird. It's like okay, all right, I see this. Like the only thing I guess that would have made it even more perfect, I guess, is if he would have done it against the Penguins. It's just because of like all the games that him and Crosby have had against each other. I think that would have been kind of cool, but. Honestly, I thought he was going to do a Friday night when he got the first two against the Blackhawks. I'm like, dude, he's getting a hat trick tonight. He's doing this, and he could have obviously if he had gone out for the empty net.
Right.
Which again,
Well-
I'm glad he didn't do.
Well, like you said, it was the exact same amount of games.
Mm-hmm.
So Gretzky had 1,487 games, same as Ovechkin.
Yeah.
And now Ovechkin has the goal scoring lead. Obviously, he won't touch him in total points.
No.
That will not happen.
No.
Because Gretzky had 1,963 assists. So that one, I don't think will ever fucking be broken.
Not gonna happen anyway.
No.
No. Yeah, that's now, and obviously you get the people that are looking to like downplay this. It's like, oh, he had like X amount more shots than Gretzky had. I'm like, okay, great.
Okay, same amount of games.
Yep.
And I don't want to hear that the game is different, because you can say the game is different all you want to. That's fine. But also point out how different goalies are now than they were back then.
Mm-hmm.
Show me a goalie from back when Wayne Gretzky played versus a goalie now. The goalies back then look like the dweebiest, tiniest guys in the world, and the goalies now look like they're fucking transformers.
They're tanks, dude.
They're transformers that just transformed from a fucking truck and are standing in the goal.
Like goalies now, like
It's-
they don't even get looked at unless they're like 6'3".
Right. And the size of their pads now is much
absurd.
bigger. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, don't even come at me with that shit.
No,
Stop.
No,
Stop.
I'm sorry. Like, now, I will say this: if Mike Bossy had played longer, or if Mario Lemieux had stayed healthy, I think both of them would have broke the record. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Maybe Ovi would have broke their record. Who knows? But you look at like somebody who might break Ovi's record, and really the only guy is Austin Matthews. Like his pace, his goals per game pace is better than Ovi's after the same amount of seasons. The thing with him is health. If he can stay healthy, he's got a shot to do it. I don't think he's going to, but he's got a shot to do it.
He's got a shot. If you look at active players right now, the closest active player right now is
Gotta be-
Crosby
Yeah,
at 622.
yeah.
Then you have Stamkos at 580.
He ain't gonna do it.
No.
Either is Crosby.
You've got Malkin at 513
and all these guys are about to retire.
and Tavares at 492.
Yeah, like I said, all these guys are about to retire, or they're like on their
Or
last
or
few
they're
seasons.
at the end
Yeah,
of
they're at
their
the end.
careers. You know what I mean? They're near
like
the end. I mean,
McDavid, maybe. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd be hard pressed to say anybody right now currently playing is gonna do it. Maybe McDavid or Matthews, but that's a huge maybe.
It is.
And I can't even say that at this point.
It's like you gotta average like 50 a season to do that, and that's just again in this NHL, that's not easy to do, man.
No.
But I mean, and yeah, like I said, people are just they look for anything like, oh, if he wanted to score more goals, he would have. What does that even mean?
Yeah,
Like I don't understand. Like what does that mean? I don't.
I don't know.
Okay.
You score the amount of goals that you scored.
Like it doesn't.
That's-
Yeah. It's like okay.
Yes, he has way more assists, and that will never be broken.
Yeah.
There's no way anybody's going to break his points record.
Like you look at Ovi. Like if he didn't win that Stanley Cup, like how would we have looked at him? It's just
I still would look at him as one of the greatest of all time.
okay.
I would look at him like I do Dan Marino,
Yeah, I think it's a good
one of the
very good-
greatest
yeah.
of all time
Yeah.
that just did not win the big one, but he did, right? But if he didn't,
Yeah.
to me, he'd be equivalent, the hockey equivalent to Dan Marino.
I think it's a good. Yeah, I actually think it's a really good comparison. I think it's. Really
Dennis
solid.
says McDavid would have been my guess for active players now. Which McDavid or Matthews, I think, are the two that you could say, okay, maybe.
Yeah,
But even then, I have a hard time even saying that right now because
I mean you got to play that long, and like I said, you got to average like 50 a season to do it.
you have to stay healthy.
You got to stay healthy, and Matthews has already proven that that's not one thing he's great at doing. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see as time moves along here. But I gotta say, I don't shit because Ovi's still got one more year left. I mean, there's a chance he could like legit put this way out of reach.
Yeah.
So And he says, like, after his contract's up, I believe it is after next year, that he's probably done.
Yeah.
But we shall see. It's just kind of funny. You look at him, and you're like, that's a hockey player.
Yeah.
Because he's like, the dude's like great,
Yeah.
like incredibly out of shape, or like not in typical hocky player shape.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, all right, good for you, buddy. I mean, I guess that's what happens when you don't have to like back check or play defense. Yeah. you gotta stand at like a circle on the ice and just wait for a pass. You know.
He's one of the best to do it, though.
He is definitely one of the best to do it, so I definitely got to give him that. Anyways, NFL draft. You got anything to hit on that? Or do you wanna
No,
wait?
I think we can wait on that
wanna
one.
wait on that?
Yeah, I think we can wait on that one. There's not much to talk about right now. There hasn't been much extra that happened since we talked
Yeah.
on the show last, and there's right now it's all just speculation. I think the closer to the draft we get, we can talk about it. We can talk about it next week.
Yeah.
And then obviously the week of the draft, we will not have a Tuesday show.
No.
We will instead have our annual
NFL
draft night
Yes.
show where we live watch the draft with you, and you join in with us, and you can hear us discuss the draft as we're watching it with you.
Yeah, I
So
always enjoy that night. It's fun.
It is a fun night. I'm looking forward to that again.
We already did like free agency shit, right?
Yeah, we already did, and nothing's really happened since last time we talked. So I think football right now, we can put it on the back burner. We're going to be talking enough football leading up to the draft here in the next week or so.
Mm-hmm.
I think today should be about the other things.
Like what?
Well, you wanted to talk about Comerica Park.
Which I did.
I thought you wanted to talk about other things about Comerica Park, like the changes they made.
I mean, the seats behind home plate, I think they look stupid.
I think it's dumb,
I
first
agree,
of all, because
yes.
they're nothing but
It's a money grab.
it is a money grab.
That's all it is.
So Dennis says he's going to have the farewell tour. What about? And then he says, "What about the bright breaking news?" And then he says Kevin Owens is hurt.
Yeah, you want to talk about that?
We're going to get into wrestling, WWE, and WrestleMania lead up. We're going to get into that, Dennis. We're definitely going to talk about that because I want to talk about Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair and their shit that went down. That their promo went off the fucking tracks real fucking quick.
Oh, yeah.
And I love it. I didn't give a shit about that match until that happened.
and now you do.
And now I do.
Yes, we'll definitely hit that here shortly. But yes, like the seats behind home plate, again, it's a money grab. And they look even more ridiculous when they're not filled, which they won't be the majority of this season.
Because nobody can afford them.
Like I said, if they can't even afford to fill them up in Yankee Stadium, you think they're going to be able to afford them here? Are you fucking kidding me?
All right, either make them more affordable.
Yeah.
Or try to sell them. And whatever you don't sell, reward the fans who showed up to the game by hand-picking some people to put them down there so it doesn't look so fucking empty and stupid.
Right.
Right?
No, I'm with you on that.
Reward
Absolutely.
some people who
Yeah.
showed up to the game and paid for tickets.
Yeah.
And say, hey, you want to go down and sit down here? It's on the house.
Yeah, I'm not. Like I said, I'm not a fan of it. I didn't like it when I walked into the stadium. I saw it. I'm like, this looks stupid. Then I saw it on TV. I'm like, this is even more dumb. I'm not a fan.
No.
And then for taking down the Tigers thing off the scoreboard and putting Comerica Park on it, like, really? I get it's the 25th anniversary of Comerica Park. I understand that.
Yeah.
But you could have put that literally anywhere. Anywhere.
I kind of didn't like it because I like the Tigers
Yeah.
script up there. But on the other hand, I think they're the longest running stadium
Sponsorship?
sponsorship.
Is that right?
Yeah.
didn't know.
And if they're paying you that much money for that many years, I mean, you kind of put their name wherever the fuck they want
You
it.
could have literally put that anywhere.
I mean, could put it on top of the Tigers. You
I
could
mean,
put it
granted,
anywhere.
that scoreboard looks incredibly dumb as it is because, A, it's not centered. It's too far to the right or too far to the left. And then they added that bottom part of it. So, like, when they do, like, a full screen thing, it,
Yeah.
cuts off at the bottom of
Yeah.
it. It looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. That's and it was done this way. But that scoreboard, the big scoreboard out there, it looks like it was piecemealed together
Oh, yeah, big time.
because it was.
It absolutely was. Because they realized when they're building, they're like, oh, shit, this thing's too far to the left. Because it is. And they realized they couldn't move it. Like, oh, fuck. But yeah, other than that, like, I really didn't see that many more changes there.
And Dennis says, but it's everywhere. Talk about the name Comerica? Yes, it is. And again, I hate the fact they took down the Tigers script because, I mean, that's who plays there. It's their stadium.
Yeah.
Comerica Park, the name Comerica is fucking everywhere.
Everywhere.
But again, that's what happens when they're the longest running stadium sponsor and they pay you that much money. You're going to just go, okay, I'm sorry, where do you want your name? Sure.
Right.
No problem. Let me get on that for you.
But yeah, like I said, as for other changes, I really didn't notice that many. If
The
any.
keyhole was one.
Oh yeah,
right?
that the players apparently wanted that gone. So
Is that what happened?
That's
yeah.
why they did it.
I don't give a shit about that. I just know it was a big thing with some fans. They were losing their minds over it. And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know why.
For like I said, from what I was reading is the players wanted it gone.
yeah.
What I would have got rid of is like the cutout off home plate where home plate is. I
Right.
fucking never liked that. I've hated it since they built
think
the
it should be
stadium.
the circle instead
I
of
think
the
it should be the circle.
home plate. Yeah,
Yes. I've always hated it. Will always hate it. But the keyhole thing, I liked it. I thought it was kind of cool. It was like a throwback.
I think they were the last stadium to have it.
Yeah.
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 I liked it. I thought it was kind of cool, like a throwback type thing. But again, I guess the players didn't want it, so they got rid of it. So
I mean, and in the end, it's kind of about the players that play in the stadium, right?
yeah, it kind of is. I still think the stadium's too big. To like,
Weren't they looking at shortening the walls?
Yeah, they
I know
did.
they
They did.
They already
last year.
did. They did last year.
They brought it from like 420 to 412 in center field.
Okay.
I still think the gaps are way too big
Yeah.
to like lure like top notch free agents here.
Yeah.
And as for free agents, like I said about Vladdy, that ain't happening anymore because he just re-signed with the Blue Jays
Yeah.
for the rest of his life and $500
And,
million.
and the rest of his life, and probably the rest of his kids' lives.
Yeah, so like, that ain't gonna happen, unfortunately. But yeah, other than that, except I didn't really notice many more changes to Comerica Park. It's like it still
Gotcha.
looks kind of dingy. I think they need to spruce up the concrete in that place, like around.
The concrete and
Yeah.
the paint jobs a little bit.
Yeah, it's starting to wear a little bit. Yeah, maybe upgrade that a little. But yeah, it's other than that, Comerica Park is what it is. I've never been this. I've said this for years. I've never been a huge fan of that stadium. Probably never will be.
Yeah.
I've always looked at it as an unfinished stadium. I don't know. Just it is what it is. So, yeah. Yeah.
You know who also is what it is, and they're great?
Who's that?
The Joe Wright Group.
Whether you're buying or selling your home, now is the time to take advantage of having the expertise of 3 real estate agents for the price of 1 on your side. Make the right move with the right group, the Joe Wright Group. Give Craig Joe Wright, Mike Bush, and Shane Wilson a call today at 248-535-4750 to fulfill all of your real estate needs.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 home runs in the 4th, not that big, I guess. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, Dennis. Major league hitters will destroy mistake pitches. I don't care if they're playing in Yellowstone. They'll hit it out of there. But you know as well as I do. You've seen so many balls die in like right center field in that gap.
We know Dennis has seen a lot of balls.
Dennis has seen a lot of balls, but you see a lot. You see a lot of fly balls die in right center field. Come on now, you can't deny that. And the Red Wings with a must-win game. They're up 1-0 on the Habs. All right.
Sorry, by the way, sorry, Dennis. It was served up on a platter, man. I couldn't help it.
Yes, it was. It really was.
Yeah. So you want to get into? Dennis brought it up. You want to get into WWE?
Go. Yes.
All right. So have you been watching any of the lead up to Mania?
I did not watch any of the overseas ones because I'm not going to watch it in the middle of the fucking day. I'm not going to watch a replay because you just get spoilers. So what's the point? But yes, I watched last night.
Gotcha. So I'm not on Twitter, right? I'm not on the ones where I get the spoilers. I'm barely on Facebook anymore. So I actually did watch them. I watched them at the times I normally would watch them. So the one thing I can say is
It's like I work with nuts, not balls.
touche, Dennis, touche.
Well played, sir.
You're right. You do handle nuts all day.
These nuts.
These nuts. So yes, you brought up Kevin Owens, Dennis. So
That sucks.
yeah, he got hurt. It's legit. It's a neck injury. He's got to have surgery.
Yeah.
So he's out of Mania with his match against Randy Orton. Not sure what they're going to do with him. I don't I don't see how they can have a Mania without Orton in it, but they might at this point.
I think they can fit him in somewhere.
I think they're going to have to try somewhere. You got Cody Rhodes going against Cena, and I'll be honest with you, every day that goes by, I just want to see Cena win more and more because the shtick that is Cody Rhodes becomes more and more annoying to me by the day.
He's like a Timu Cena.
Yeah, I mean he's
like
definitely he's the Wish version of Cena. He's like the knockoff version, and Cena's going to be fighting the knockoff version of himself, basically. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't, like I've said before, I don't dislike Cody as a human being. I think what he does and what he's about as a human being is great, but that shtick in the ring, man, is getting boring. It was boring before he won the title. The whole finish the story it's over now, and that's all he had.
That's it.
Honestly, that was it.
That was it.
Like he was spent.
Like you blew your load on that.
Yeah, that was it.
And now it's like okay.
That's it. She wants round 2, and you don't have enough for round 2. Like you haven't. You've eaten a sandwich, you've gotten a Gatorade, and you still can't go,
Right.
Like because you got nothing.
Nothing left, and like seriously, like every promo is like the exact same.
It is. I mean, it is. Every time he comes out, I honestly, for a while, I still watch.
What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, and then, but again, every promo is the same. Even after that, you know what I mean? It's monotonous. I can't stand it at this point. So I'm all about watching Cena and Cena heel.
I love it.
Heel Cena's great,
I love it.
and I think he fucking destroyed Cody in that last promo.
He did.
they
He cooked him big time. Which I saw it. Obviously, I saw it on Bleacher Report. I saw it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did. He cooked him. And this is the problem with Cody. This is one of the biggest things, and why I can't wait till he's not champion anymore. Is his in-ring promos?
Yeah,
Dude.
they're so bad.
Dude. Like, they have to, like, have these guys kind of lean off, or else you'll never be believable at all.
No.
Like, there's a reason why, like, some of these, they didn't have Cena talk.
Right.
Because they knew if he did, you're done. Like, it's over.
And there's a reason why they let Cena take the fucking finisher from Cody after that last promo.
Yeah.
To get, again, to build up Cody
Right.
a little bit, right? Because he's losing the talking battle in between them.
Oh, yeah. And he's about to lose the actual title because there's no way Cena's losing.
I hope not.
There's no way.
I believe him taking that finisher and the way they're doing it kind of leads you down the path of he's gonna win.
Yeah.
I just hope they don't give it right back to him. Like, don't give it right back to Cody, please. Please don't do that. Because Cena's retiring. What is he gonna?
Right.
He's not gonna fight another year or two.
No.
So he's gonna win the title at Mania. What? They're gonna give it to Cody next couple pay-per-views after that?
No.
Please don't.
You know
Please
You know
don't.
who's going to take it from him? Randy Orton.
I'll take
At
that.
SummerSlam.
I'll take that.
I'd be okay with it.
I'd be great with that.
I'd be okay
let's
with it.
let's have another Randy Orton run. Let's do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would be 100% okay with that.
But speaking of promos,
Yes.
this promo that happened between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair
Yeah.
was fire.
Yeah.
Bro, it was fucking great.
I watched it. It was
I watched it a couple times.
definitely you can definitely tell, like, pretty much from the jump this thing went off script.
Oh, it was from the jump.
Yeah.
And word is that Flair has kind of done her best to bury
Oh yeah.
Tiffany Stratton leading up to this,
Of
right?
course, yeah.
And she's gone off script a couple times.
Yep.
And I think they said Tiffany has too. I didn't really pay attention to the other promos that were before this. I really didn't, because I could care less about. I hate Charlotte Flair.
Yes.
I can't stand her. So the fact that she came back and automatically was in the championship talk, I just was like, no, fuck no. I don't like Tiffany Stratton. I think she's done really well. I think she's been a good champion.
Well, I think the rest of the audience is kind of in agreement with you with this, because anytime Charlotte Flair does anything now,
Yeah.
she gets either booed or it's like nobody cares about you. at
Yeah.
all. Like it's like okay.
Yeah,
Like,
I'll jump back for 1 second. Dennis said he was going to retire with the belt. Yeah, I know, but you know that they're not going to have that happen. He's not going to retire with the belt and just take the belt with him.
It'd be sweet if he did.
He might turn it into the spinner belt and retire with that one, but then no. But like he's going to have to lose it to somebody. I just hope it's not right back to Cody.
Yes.
But back to this promo that happened with Stratton and Flair. The crowd did boo her mercilessly.
Oh yeah.
And what I love about it is she's supposed to be this veteran, right? She didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
She stood there and smiled a couple times.
Yeah.
She said to the crowd, "What do you want me to do?" Like, as much as I don't like the character of Dominic Mysterio, he does great at getting booed mercilessly.
Oh yeah, he owns it.
He completely owns it.
Yeah.
Whereas Charlotte Flair, she expects to get cheered. She just expects the crowd to cheer her.
Like, nah, dude.
She's not owning the fact that you're a heel at this point because the crowd fucking hates you.
Yeah, we don't know.
So just own it. But she's not owning it, and she's weirdly awkwardly smiling while they're booing, not knowing what to say, asking the crowd what she should say, what she should do. And then it turned into just a slugfest of insults torn at each other. Tiffany Stratton started basically talking shit, said that she will never live up to her daddy, and she was a Nepo baby. And Charlotte Flair's best.
She's not exactly wrong.
I mean, it's not wrong. The only thing I didn't like about that was Cena said the same thing the week before to Cody.
But
Tiffany's
he's not wrong.
I mean, they're not wrong there either. But Tiffany Stratton basically took the same insult
right.
and brought it out a week later. But it's true. And I know Charlotte Flair hates being compared to her dad. She's hated it all along. But it is what it is. So Tiffany Stratton says that. And then Charlotte Flair, basically her comeback was, I'm the queen Nepo baby. Queen Nepo. I'm the best Nepo baby. Okay, that's
and then, like,
great.
She's talking about like how Kaiser is like sliding into her diva.
Oh no, that came later.
That came later. That's
Yeah,
right,
that came later.
Okay.
So then Tiffany Stratton fires back with taking shots at her about her marriages, which is another soft point for her.
Over 3, baby.
She's pretty soft on a lot of her personal life stuff.
Yeah.
But Tiffany Stratton fired back at her and said, after this match, you're going to be just like you are in real life, alone. And what is your record there? 0-3? And then she just goes, woo, and stepped out of the ring backwards.
That's it.
And word is the reason she did the backward step, which as the champion going into a match, right? That's not the best look. You don't say something and then slide out of the ring. Well, Tiffany Stratton, that was her defense mechanism because she knew it was off the rails.
Yeah.
And she knew it could come to blows. So that was her way of avoiding an actual fight because she knew she had dropped a grenade. And then she just was like, I know this is off the rails. It's gotta. So that was kind of her way of avoiding it. And then Charlotte Flair, sure enough, it kind of proved it was going to probably come to blows if she stayed in the ring, if Tiffany Stratton stayed in the ring because she stepped towards the ropes and goes, oh, is that why Kaiser's in my DMs?
Yeah.
Which is fucking great because if you don't know, Kaiser in real life is actually dating Tiffany Stratton. They've been together for a while.
Yep.
Which would surprise my mother because she thinks Kaiser is gay.
I could see
which
that.
he comes across kind of gay.
I could see that
in his
for
character at least.
A little bit.
So that was fire. And now I really want to watch this match because I will watch every promo they have from now on. And I want to go back and watch the other ones because I want to see exactly where this started because it has been talked about that it started before this and they do not like each other. Like at all. And it started previously than just this promo. And it just escalated this promo. And they've both apparently been disciplined for their actions in this.
Oh, yeah.
But from what I've heard, what I read, Charlotte Flair is being held more accountable because she's the veteran. And apparently, however, she's the one that started the personal stuff.
Does that surprise you in any way?
It doesn't at all, but I just don't know where to. I have to go back and watch and see where it actually started because it started before this promo.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me in any way because I think that's who she is.
And before this,
Yeah.
no, don't care about watching it.
Yeah.
no problem.
I mean, she looks at Tiffany
No
Stratton,
problem
she's
skip-
like, oh, fuck. you
Right.
know, like,
she's a younger.
she's the next she's the
right.
next one, you know?
She's
Yeah.
She's the next. She's it.
Right. And she's had a history of doing this, of burying
Yeah.
talent.
Yeah. And
Like
she's
not
been,
selling all that shit.
well, and she's been trying with Tiff apparently. And like I said, I had to go back because I didn't watch their promos before this because truthfully, as much as I do think Tiffany Stratton is a good champion and I like what she's doing, I didn't have a care in this match. I hate Charlotte Flair. I had no care in the world for this match.
Right.
Now, abso-fucking-lutely gonna watch this match.
Is that night 1 or night 2?
I don't know. I don't know what's on night 1 and night 2 at this point yet, but
Yeah. I still hate that it's 2 nights. It's ridiculous that WrestleMania is 2 nights. It doesn't need to be that. We've discussed this at length on multiple of these like PLEs or whatever the fuck they're called now. 2-night PLEs don't need to be a thing. They just don't. Like I think frankly I think it loses momentum. I really do. Like you should have all these in one night.
well, and again, not have so many of them. Like you're doing enough to fill up 2 nights. If you just had more than a regular pay-per-view and filled up a night and a half, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like have it be a full pay-per-view plus a half of one. You know what I mean? Like extend it a couple hours.
Yeah.
People would watch that.
Like you don't have to start it at what they started at what 7 o'clock, right?
I think they start WrestleMania at 6.
Then
both nights.
Started at like
You could start it at 4
and
and
be
still get like a night and a half's worth of. Like you don't have to do 2 nights. I know why they do it. It's for the gate.
oh of course.
It's for the big because they
Yeah.
do it in big stadiums. And it's for the gate.
Yeah.
I know why they do it.
I mean you're seeing prices even for shitty seats for this year. It's like good lord.
It's fucking
man.
insane.
Yeah, like,
but I mean,
dude.
honestly, it's prices for anything right now are
Yeah, oh,
fucking.
yeah.
If you go to look at prices for a concert, dude.
Yeah, it's absurd. It's
I mean, I'm taking Ray to go see. So I went to the Disturbed concert.
Yeah.
Which was great, by the way. I know it's not really your kind of music, but it was fucking great. It was
is
their,
not.
It was their 25th anniversary of the Disturbed album.
gotcha.
And then I'm taking Ray to go see Shinedown, which is
Yeah, she loves Shinedown. Yeah.
she fucking loves it.
Yeah.
She is obsessed with Shinedown. She even listens to was it Smith and Myers, which is just the lead singer and the guitarist. They have their own side gig where they do songs just on their own, and they're like acoustic sets and things like that. She even listens to their songs
Okay.
and loves them. So, yeah. But again, prices for those concerts. I was looking at prices for them and the prices we paid. Not that they were horrible, but they've definitely gone up. And it's like, if you want to go see a concert and be close up anymore, you're paying an arm and a leg.
Yeah, no.
Right? Like the tickets we got for both those shows actually were the drink rail in the mezzanine area.
Yeah.
And I love those seats.
Yeah.
You get the high bar stool. You get the bar
Yep.
right in front of you to put food on. I fucking love it. It's
Yep.
great.
I think it was the first seats I sat in at the Pizza Box the first time I was there.
Yeah. Well, and it's Dennis said great to see you there, which I got to give him a shout out. I appreciate him all the time. He has hooked us up at several things, right? Wherever we've gone.
Can confirm.
Yes. So, and me, he's my friend. I never expect it. I know you never expect it.
I've never once expected it.
It's nice when he does it. We really appreciate it. It's cool as
Absolutely.
shit.
Yeah.
But like, I texted him just to see if he was there. We loved our seats.
Yes.
And he said, yeah. He said, I'm down on the floor. I said, all right, well, I'll stop by and see you. So in between the sets, went down to see him. And he's like, hey, these 2 seats, nobody's showing up for them. They're empty. If you want to sit in them. I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So those seats were cool as shit. It was the first row.
Yeah.
Right on the thing. And we were back a little ways, but with the first row, with the stage up high, you could still get a good view. And it was great to see. We watched about the first set of Disturbed from those seats. And then we went back up to our seats to watch the rest of it.
Okay.
And much appreciated, brother.
Yeah, those are good
definitely,
seats.
and it was definitely great seeing you, which
sure.
is the only reason why I came down there to stop by and say hi.
Well, I know every time we go there, go to the Pizza Box, like for whatever it's for, and we know he's working. Absolutely, we go, say hi, whatever bullshit.
Yeah, anytime I go anywhere where I know he's before, even when we went to Comerica, I would always be like,
yeah.
"Hey, man, are you there? Are you there? Let me see."
Yeah.
But yeah, anytime I'm at Little Caesars, I always hit him up. Hey, are you here? Even when I go to Disney on Ice, like I know he works some of those, so I'm always like, "Hey, are you working? I'll come say hi."
Right.
And like with those, like I already get front row seats for those. So like I just literally want to go say hi. So
Yeah, for sure. Back to this WrestleMania nonsense.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, I'm sorry. I gotta say hi to my cousin. Hey, cousin Karen, how are you?
hi. Yeah, like just yesterday watching the Jey Uso Gunter thing. Oh,
Yeah.
dude. Has anybody gotten more over with less than Jey Uso?
No. So
Like it's honestly cringy at this point. It
well,
really is.
so here's the thing.
Like,
and
did you see that promo last night?
So I didn't.
Oh, dude, it was
I didn't
so
watch it.
weird.
So I do want to go back and watch it because I heard it was weird. I did read
It was
about that.
incredibly weird.
So what I loved Jay for a while, right? But again, I thought he needed to do more. Like you can't just stop with what your one shtick that works or whatever, your two things that work, right? You need to have more levels than that. And there hasn't been more levels to it.
No.
It's just been the same.
It's just eat
And honestly,
then super kick.
Honestly, I'm nobody to talk about this, being out of shape, right? But I will say Kevin Nash on his podcast brought up the fact that he goes, Jey Uso needs to hit a fucking treadmill or do cardio because it looks like the success has gotten to him. He's put on weight. He looks chubby. Is what Nash said. I had read this. I didn't see the podcast, but basically he was saying, like, listen, he's let success go to his head, and he's kind of let up on training and all that stuff. Which after I read that, I looked at it and I watched it. I was like, I mean, I can't say he's wrong.
Little doughy.
I have no room to talk.
But you are not a professional.
Right. You and I,
Yeah,
no room
like,
to talk.
whatever.
Me, less room to talk than you. But it's after I heard that and read that about him from Kevin Nash, I looked at it and I was like, man, he ain't wrong.
But you are not a
He ain't
professional
wrong.
athlete.
Right. I mean,
He is.
supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's looking a little doughy.
yeah, and I think the whole throwing his brother into this thing did him a disservice too. Like I have him stand on his own. He was standing on his own. That's the reason why you have him fighting for the title, right?
Right.
You were giving him the bump, and
But he's not title worthy. I'm sorry. He's not.
I
He's not.
at first I thought he was, and this whole lead up to WrestleMania makes me look at it and go, he's not. So, and maybe they're looking at it and saying, well, we had to give him the bump because the crowd loves him, but he's not ready for championship yet. He's going to fight for it, but I personally don't think he's ready for it.
I'm sorry. You cannot have like that. Be like that one dimensional in the ring
Yeah.
and be I'm sorry. No. Literally, your whole thing is super kick.
Well, and he's
Super kick. Great.
He's been one dimensional outside the ring too,
Yeah.
which is disappointing.
It is. It's like
It's disappointing.
Yeet, super kick. Yeet, oos.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which again was a fan of at first. He broke off on his own.
Yeah.
What he was doing was good, but again, what he was doing hasn't developed. It hasn't evolved.
It's stagnant.
It's what it was.
Yeah, it's stagnant.
It hasn't evolved. You have to evolve. You have to bring more to your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And he hasn't. There's been no development there.
And then you go to this whole thing with Rollins and Punk and Roman Reigns.
Oh, who didn't see that coming from a mile away? Dude, I could have told you back in January they were going to have a fucking triple threat match.
Well,
with
yeah,
those three.
we all knew the triple threat was
Right,
coming.
that was going to before they even started
Yeah.
planning it. We knew it was going to fucking happen.
Right. But obviously, like, you saw the end of Raw last night, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you owe me a favor. Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's not how that works. He actually owes Punk a favor because he did him a favor.
Yes.
And it was agreed upon. And of course, the favor is, I love it. The favor is he has to stand in Punk's corner,
Yeah. So I'm like, okay.
which I mean, it's a triple threat match. There really isn't a corner.
No.
Like
there
it's not.
isn't.
It's not like you're standing in their corner.
No.
You know, there isn't. He's not going to bring out the fucking
I'm just-
fucking stool and
I don't know.
squirt water in his
I'm
face.
just curious to see how this plays out. I really am.
I'll be honest with you. I hope it plays out to where Heyman ends up going off with Punk again, and they liven up the story somehow with the bloodline and Roman going off on his own without Heyman. And here's the thing too. WWE's done a disservice to Solo.
Yeah.
You had him, he was the main event in 4 pay-per-views. He was the guy going forward for the bloodline. And then all of a sudden, he's forgotten about and has nothing to do with anything. And the whole bloodline storyline is just non-existent right now. Like, what were you doing by carrying on the...
But to me, that just shows how important Roman was to that storyline.
I mean, to me, I was intrigued by the way they were doing it. To me, they backed off the gas on it. And so what was the point of carrying on the bloodline storyline while Roman was gone if you were just going to drop it once he got back?
I didn't see the point in it. You know my thoughts on it.
He won the Ula Fala back at a fucking Raw.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a pay-per-view. And then the whole bloodline storyline just collapsed. They just stopped doing anything with it. What was the point of carrying it on after he left then?
I don't know.
It was pointless.
I thought I kind of said the same thing at the time. I'm like, this is kind of dumb. Like without Roman involved in even Dwayne involved in this in some way.
I wanted to see the bloodline feud. I wanted to see the inter-family feud.
Yeah.
Which is where I thought it was going, which is why I was intrigued in it. I'm like, I want to see the inter-family feud. They're bringing in people. They were bringing in guys left and right, right?
Everybody, yeah.
From other wrestling associations, right? So I thought, all right, we're going to get the inter-family feud. You know, we're going to get that.
No.
But again, the Ula Fala got lost to Roman at the Raw. I've never seen him wear it since. And it just the whole bloodline storyline just died. It was just dead.
I'm sure it'll come alive at some point, like after.
I just feel they've
WrestleMania,
dropped the ball on a few storylines, and I'm not one of those people. I'm not going to be one of those fucking Triple H, disciples where he's doing everything right. Do I like the direction of a lot of things? Do I like a lot of what he's doing? Yes.
Yeah.
But I think they dropped the ball on some things too.
Yeah.
I think they dropped the ball last year with the Cody thing, and they had to try to regain momentum, and they didn't fully do it, in my opinion. I thought that storyline to WrestleMania last year was not ideal. It wasn't great. And
that got completely off the rails.
Talk about making lemonade out of lemons. Yeah. I mean, that's all it was you were picking up pieces after you failed at something.
Yeah.
And then
and if you had just done it right from the jump, it would have been fine.
Exactly.
Which you clearly did not do.
No. And then also dropping the ball on the Wyatt Six. Like, you built that up with their promos and everything like that. They came back, had a few matches, and they're gone. Again, you failed at that. If you did it right, if you were going to do it right. And if you're not going to do it right, don't do it at all. Why do you have them cut a bunch of fucking promos and a bunch of vignettes that are leading up to something and then have them come back and lose matches to people they shouldn't be losing? Like, that was ridiculous. And that's why they're off TV now. And again, the Bloodline storyline, why continue it if you're just going to let it fizzle out and do nothing with it?
Right. I mean, you'd think they have some sort of plan here with both of those moving forward. I
don't think they do.
Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Whatever. I'm not a huge fan of either of those storylines, to be honest with you. So it really doesn't matter to me.
Are you a fan of much?
Yeah, I am a fan of stuff. But the Bloodline stuff again, without like Roman and Dwayne, it's like, like the whole Solo shit and all that. I'm just like the Tongaloa or whatever the fuck. Yeah, that I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are...
I'll be honest with you. Jacob Fatu is the best wrestler out of all of them.
And that's fair. Like, I'm cool with that. That's fine.
Jacob Fatu is the best wrestler out of all of them.
You know what? It almost got to me, it almost got to be like, remember how, like, NWO just got to be, like, 30 fucking members?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it got to be like to me. It's like, there's too many of these fucking people.
Well, see, and I thought it was gonna be the breakup. I thought it was gonna be two factions of the Bloodline fighting, right? Which
would have been fine.
Which I'm all for.
Yeah,
Let's do
cool.
it.
But that's not what it was.
But I thought that's where it was headed.
Right.
And if they were smart, they would have headed it that way. But they did, because they made you believe they were headed that way.
No.
Everything they said and did was that it was headed that way. But then it just didn't.
Yep.
And then the Ula Fala has just fallen off the planet after Roman won it at Raw. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know.
But I am, speaking of Jacob Fatu, though, I'm looking forward to that match. He's fighting LA Knight.
Oh, yeah.
LA
Should be a good
Knight.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That should be a good one.
Yep. Anything else?
No.
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 All right. But here's the thing. Talking about Tigers games. If you want to go out and watch Tigers games, you don't want to go to the Tigers game.
Pistons playoff games.
And the Pistons playoff games?
Yeah.
The Pistons are in the playoffs?
They're locked in, baby.
Holy shit.
They're
All right,
in.
locked in for playoff games. So Pistons playoff games, Tiger baseball games. If you don't want to go downtown, go to Tap and Barrel Grill in Shelby Township. They're one of the newest sports bars in Metro Detroit. This upscale sports bar features over 40 craft beers on tap, handcrafted cocktails, a delicious scratch-made food menu, and an amazing patio, voted best in Macomb County by Crane's Detroit Weekly. It's a great place to go watch games, enjoy the weather when it gets nice again, because it's spring in Michigan and it's cold. But once it gets warm again,
it never ends.
Yeah, once it gets warm again, go visit Tap and Barrel Grill in Shelby Township. Sit on their patio. They have great patio. Even when it's chilly, they have fireplaces. So check it out.
TVs.
Tons of TVs. It's a very comfortable feel, attentive staff, fine dining food options, which makes it a must-visit spot for sports fans and foodies alike. Whether you're watching a big game or just looking for a great meal, Tap and Barrel Grill has you covered. Tap and Barrel Grill, visit them at 50055 Van Dyke Avenue in Shelby Township, or go to tapandbarrelgrill.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one. Very good.
All right. Nothing else.
No.
All right. We will be back next Tuesday. Give us a like, a share, and a follow on our social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. You can find all of our podcasts at your favorite podcast provider. As always, check out SOTDET.com. While you're there, click on Shop, buy some stuff with Sports on Tap Detroit merchandise, and we would appreciate it. Supports the show. Click on our sponsors' logos. Go to their websites and give them a visit. Please give them a like, a share, and a follow as well. SOTDET.com. On behalf of Chris, I'm Joe. We are Sports on Tap Detroit. See you next Tuesday.
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no!
Bye. Have a great time.
No! God!
Bye, guys.
No! Bye, buddy. No!
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
It's never goodbye.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
And you were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I have ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad.
God, I love you guys. Mamba out.